When I met Françoise Grostet a few months ago, she told me, she listened very carefully to what I was explaining, and I understood that I have to be very, very fast in how does it work, and be very specific with what is the use of this marine service. Why are you doing this? So we decided to have 2 hours for this why with the users, and I'll be very, very quick to explain what it is about. I have 5 minutes maximum, I know that. So this marine service, to be very specific, is something which is monitoring the environment of the ocean, which is the current temperature, the salinity, which is the optical properties, which is the biogeochemistry. This is the marine environment, and we are putting all the effort to monitor this. This is a bit more than that. This is also a community. We are engaging a wide community of stakeholders to do that. You have a few logos on the screen that are the partners of Mercator Ocean for what we have called the Copernicus Marine Week. We will spend this full week exploring how we could improve the marine service to really reach a better impact for the users, for the use of it. They are in the room, and I thank them for their participation, and they are the full week with us to explore the different things. To be very specific, if you want to monitor and to forecast the ocean, you have to start with this. This is the Sentinel-3 satellite launched by ESA, operated by EUMETSAT, monitoring the ocean and other parts of the Earth. This is absolutely essential to start something in the ocean. But this is not enough, because you cannot see anything but the surface. So you have also to work with people going at sea, and what you have on the screen is a float that will go 2 kilometers below the surface, monitor the temperature and the salinity, and then go back and send by satellite this information to you. You have thousands of these kind of floats in the world, and you need this in situ observation, and we are working with the European Environment Agency to coordinate this effort to collect this data, as well as the European association called Eurogoose to connect to the international networks and the European networks. This is essential. You cannot say something about the ocean without going at sea and combining this with this information. Where the marine service starts is by collecting all this data, computing all this information, and so we engage, we have more than 40 producers that are connecting this data. They are managing hundreds of interfaces to get the data where they are. The space segment is very well organized. The in situ, you have to go where the observations are, but we do the job. And thanks to this pan-European network of producers, we are able to describe the ocean, to simulate the ocean, so that you can build this information of a 3D ocean with the temperature, the salinity, the heat content, which is absolutely essential for monitoring the influence of the ocean for the hurricanes, as was mentioned by my co-chairs today, which is essential, and we did that. This is also essential for monitoring the impact for the marine resources, I mean fish stock, etc., but it will be detailed later in the session. It does work. I mean, we produce this information, we disseminate the information, and what we did with the Marine Service is to rebuild this description of the ocean. We are able, in this, with 300 million grid points, to give the temperature, the salinity, the currents, the presence of ice, the pH, the acidity, etc., every day, at every depth, and with forecasts for the coming weeks, and also derive the trends for the past decades. And having done that, then we think there is something more to do, is to deliver this data on a web portal, completely open, completely free, which is the motto for Copernicus. And more than that, we have decided with this marine Copernicus.eu service to really put effort to support the users. I mean, the real goal is that the users, the service providers that need this data, this information, can take the best. And so we have this user support. We're connecting the experts from the production centers to the users. And the impact, and this is my last slide, is that we have observed a very strong uptake of these users. We are past the threshold of 10,000 users. And you will observe in this session this morning that these users, they are themselves service providers, disseminating added value and disseminating this information to hundreds or thousands of users. So we have this convincing example of Copernicus accelerating this blue growth economy and impacting and doing gathering information and service to combine what is today available to reach this information which is available for the market. And it's my pleasure today to listen with you about what is now the use of this information by the users. This afternoon, in this Copernicus Marine Week, we will go back into this production facility to see what we could improve. Tomorrow, we'll have a full session with the users to get the feedbacks. On Thursday, we will think about the evolution for the coming 2-3 years, and we will conclude with some recommendations from the stakeholders on Friday. So this is a very, very important week for us, and thanks again for being present with me or with us for this morning session.